everyone, it's David. Welcome back to Gem Mint MTG, where I talk about graded Magic the Gathering cards. Today is going to be another market review. It's been another month. It's time to review sales in the graded marketplace. Switching things up a little bit today, you'll see there's a different format. I didn't like the way that the last one flowed, so I switched things up and separated cards into what I called Modern, Silver Age, and Vintage. So we're going to go through things in that order by price. That's going to be the order of the cards. To all the new subscribers, thank you for joining. Great to have you here. If you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and join in the fun, because I'm going to be talking about graded Magic cards all the time here on Gem Mint MTG. All right, let's get right into this first card. Okay, getting started off here with the Modern Spotlight. So how I'm defining Modern is basically anything printed after the reserve list ended. So Urza's Destiny was the last set with reserve list cards. I consider Modern anything after that. Getting started off here, this first card here is Mothra, the Supersonic Queen from Ikoria. This card sold for $149. Near mint, they're running about 52 bucks. Adjust for the grading fee, gives you a multiple of 1.46. Very strong multiple for a PSA 9. People really like these niche cards, and like I've talked about before, generally when the card is a lower overall value, a lot of times you can get a stronger premium just because the effect on your wallet is a lot less. So people see a card for 150, it doesn't necessarily matter what the near mint average is as much because it's something that they can afford. Another thing that you'll notice is that the adjustment for the grading fee is a bit higher, and I had to do that because, as I talked about, Beckett and PSA have changed their prices. I don't see those prices changing or coming back. So before, we used to do a $35 adjustment because you could get your cards graded for that price. But now I really don't think it's possible to do that, even with economy. Once you factor in shipping and insurance on those cards, you're going to be at least 50 bucks a card to get it graded. So now the adjustment for the grading fee is going to be an even $50, which will tend to bring multiples down a little bit, depending on the price of the card. Anyway, let's get to our next card here. Flooded Strand from Onslaught. This is the foil one. These are so cool. This is an old border foil. Once again, a really nice premium on it. This card sold for $2,300 for a PSA 9. Near mint, they're running about $1,400. So when you adjust for the grading fee, a multiple of 1.59. Really nice. These old bordered fetch lands, especially in foil, are just, they're so beautiful to look at. It doesn't surprise me that a card like this would command a really strong premium. There's a great market for cards like this, and they're really hard to keep in really, really nice condition, especially because they were so popular to play with. And the print run on these, in my opinion, was actually very low. There's not a ton of these floating around, especially in near mint condition. It's not like today where every card is a foil, showcase, blah, blah, blah. I mean, these were truly rare cards. So really cool Flooded Strand. And that quickly brings us to the Silver Age. This is the Silver Age Spotlight. So how I define Silver Age, this is, everybody has their own opinion on this, but the way that I see the Silver Age is basically everything from Mirage through Urza's Destiny. So reserved list cards, I consider these Silver Age cards if they're made from Mirage through Urza's Destiny. That's how I define the Silver Age. To me, before that is Vintage. But getting started off here in Urza's Legacy with Radiant Archangel. So this BGS 9 sold for $100. Near mint, they're running about $21.50. So when you adjust for the grading fee, a multiple of 1.4. Again, a really nice premium on Radiant Archangel. There's been actually a bunch of these sold in the marketplace recently. This is just one of them. I didn't want to go over every single one. We'll go over a BGS 9.5 in another video that sold. But these have very consistently been selling for about $100 in mint condition. So I think it's great to see consistency in the price and a strong premium on cards like this. It's a reserve list card from the Silver Age that a lot of people can afford. It has beautiful artwork. To me, this is just an awesome card. Absolutely love it. Moving on to Lifeline from Urza Saga. So this BGS 9 sold for $175. Look at this. $175 for a Lifeline from Urza Saga in mint condition. Near mint, they're about $35. So even when you adjust for the grading fee, this is over 2x. This is a very strong premium for a BGS 9. This was a buy it now. You can get 2x multiples on nines, PSA, and BGS. It's not as common as you'll see. I believe this is the only one that has that strong of a premium. But it's a beautiful card. It's a quad, really really nice card. Funny story. This card, if you saw my last BGS submission video, I had a really really nice copy of this card. I tried to grade it, and that card was sent back as altered. They said that the card was trimmed. I have no idea what happened with it. I didn't trim the card. I don't think the card was trimmed. I just think it was an error. So I saw this sale and I was like, dang. Anyway, moving on to Tolarian Academy. We're going to stay in the Urza's block here. So this BGS 9 sold for $295. Near mint, they're running about $157.50. Just for the grading fee, a multiple of 1.42. Again, really nice premiums on these Silver Age cards. People love these cards. There's a huge market for these reserve list cards from the Silver Age. And because they carry a lower price tag, generally you get a stronger premium for them. So I love cards like this. The market is strong. I haven't seen softening in the market for these cards like I have for others. When we go through the BGS 9.5s and the PSA 10s in the next video, you'll see other areas of the market that I do believe are softening, but I think these kind of second tier reserve list cards from the Silver Age are still commanding a very strong premium and have very strong sales. Like this next card, here we go, the Sliver Queen from Stronghold. This PSA 9 sold for $480. Near mint, they're running about $285. Adjust for the grading fee and a multiple of 1.43. So once again, about a 40% premium for this card, just like the Tolarian Academy, similar to the Radiant Archangel. These cards command a really nice premium. Sliver Queen is a very hard card to get in really nice condition. It was a very popular card to play with. I've tried grading this card 3 times. If you've seen my BGS submission videos, I've tried grading it 3 times and I've never been able to get over an 8.5. So it doesn't surprise me that when 9s and 9.5s come up for sale, they command a very strong premium. It's a very popular card, very iconic card, and hard to find in really good condition. So way to go, Sliver Queen. And another Stronghold card, probably the most iconic Stronghold card, possibly the most iconic card from the Silver Age, one of the most for sure, the Mox Diamond from Stronghold. So this BGS 9 sold for $795. Near mint, they're running about $675. Adjust for the grading fee, a multiple of 1.1. There were a lot of these that sold. All of them were around $795, $750. I think one got over 800 for a 9, but all of them have been in that range. And like I've talked about before, generally as you get higher in terms of the overall dollar value of the card, generally the premium recedes. A 2x multiple on this card would put it at $1,600, and you're just not going to get that for a BGS 9 Mox Diamond. Not going to happen. Also, I think the near mint price on these has gone up considerably. I mean, this was like a $400 or $500 card. It's quickly got up to almost $700 for a near mint copy. So I think it's just a symptom of the card, kind of catching up with its near mint average. I think that these things are getting really pricey. So once you get up to a $700 card, it's hard to get such a strong premium for that card. Especially, this is not like a vintage card. It's not an alpha card or an Arabian Nights card. Those cards tend to carry a strong premium, even if they're $800 near mint average. And that brings us to the vintage spotlight. This is the heavy hitters. This is the stuff that we all love, the vintage cards. Let's get started off here with our first card here, Hellfire from Legends. This Legends rare sold for $303.88. Near mint, these are running about $217. Adjust for the grading fee, a multiple of 1.14. So again, I think this is another card where it's more of a niche card. It's really cool, but it's not one of the most iconic cards from Legends. There's a lot of really popular cards in Legends. I would not consider this one of the most popular ones. And also, this is another one where the near mint average on these is just, this was not a $200 card that long ago. So it doesn't surprise me that all that much that there's not, you know, a really strong premium on a card like Hellfire. Kind of what you would expect in the 10 to 25% range is generally what I see when I'm looking at vintage cards in BGS 9 or PSA 9 condition. They're generally in the 10 to 25% range. Let's move on to our next one. A favorite card of this channel. It would not be a market review if we didn't talk about the Mana Crypt book promo. This is a PSA 9. But once again, like I've talked about many times before, this card never carries a very strong premium. Near mint, they're running about $390. This card sold for $350. Adjust for the grading fee, gives you a multiple of 0.8x. So I think the person who got this did get a good deal on the card. I do feel like $350 is a good price for that, considering the fact that near mint, the asking price is above that. So I do think that this was a pretty good deal. But I've talked about this card multiple times on this channel, and I'm just not a big fan of the card. I love Martyrdon, I love Mana Crypt in other forms, but this one in particular, I'm not too big a fan of just because there's so many near mint copies available. And when they come up for sale in graded condition, they just never carry a strong premium. We've gone over this card a bunch of times. The BGS 9.5s, the PSA 10s, they just never carry a strong premium like other vintage cards. So anyway, let's move on to another one, Gwendlyn. So this Gwendlyn, this is a really popular card. I was a little bit surprised by this one. So this one sold for $521.23. Near mint, they're running about $485, multiple of 0.98x. So what I think is going on with this one is this is another one like I talked about with Hellfire. A lot of these Legends cards and other cards, Arabian cards, cards from the Dark, Antiquities, some of the asking prices on these near mints has just gone up so much in the last year that I think there's still some softening that's going to happen in the market for some of these. I personally would not put $500 of my own money into a near mint copy of Gwendlyn. I think that's just a little bit expensive. This card was not that much that long ago. So to me, I think that the near mint average could retrace a bit, and that would make this selling price make a little bit more sense. And let me phrase it another way. I think that in 6 months, if this card in mint condition would probably still sell for about $500, but I think by then the near mint asking prices will probably retrace down to, you know, less than $400 or something like that, and your multiple would look like it makes a lot more sense, 20 to 25%. I just think the asking prices for these near mints on some of these Legends and Arabian cards has just gotten so crazy that I'm not sure if those prices are going to hold or start to retrace a little bit for them to start moving in the market. Moving on to Tropical Island from Revised. $900 for this mint condition Tropical Island. Beautiful card. Love this artwork. Near mint, they're running about $637.50. Adjust for the grading fee, $687.50. Gives you a multiple of 1.31. Pretty much exactly what you would expect for a BGS 9. I've talked about dual lands a lot. They tend to not carry that much of a premium compared to some other cards. They're generally exactly in line with what you would expect. There's never, you know, crazy premiums for these. They're always kind of in line with what you would expect, especially in 9.5 or PSA 10 condition. Those generally do not carry that strong of a premium. In the next video where I talk about 9.5s, there were a lot of revised dual lands in 9.5 condition that were sold in the marketplace in the last month, and every single one of them was less than, I believe not a single one of them was over like a 2.5 multiple. No threes, nothing like that. A lot of them in like the 1.5 to 2x range. They just generally don't carry that much of a premium compared to other cards from Revised, like Vesuvian Doppelganger, Copy Artifact, Wheel of Fortune, things like that. Those cards tend to actually carry a stronger premium compared to dual lands. And our final card here, an absolutely stunning Alpha Time Walk. This Alpha Time Walk sold for $20,000, $20,700 for a BGS 9 Time Walk. Near mint, these are extremely hard to find, so forgive me on this near mint average. It's kind of a shot in the dark, but based on what I saw for lower grades that were available for sale, and some copies that I was able to locate that looked pretty good, like they were in near mint condition, I'd say the near mint average is about 16 grand. So adjust for the grading fee, gives you a multiple of 1.29. Exactly what you would expect, around 25% premium or so. Alpha cards are one of those markets that always carry a very strong premium. It's like Arabian Nights. Once you get into certain sets, certain cards, they are just extremely popular among higher end collectors. And so it doesn't surprise me that an Alpha Time Walk in BGS 9 condition carries a very strong multiple of 1.29x. You got to remember, for a BGS 9, getting a 29% premium for that card, that's pretty good. On top of that, being a $16,000 card, that's very good. Generally, like I talked about before, as you get higher in price, your premium retraces a little bit. That's why some of these lower value cards, you'll see them get 1.52x on a BGS 9. But once you get to a $16,000 card, a 2x multiple would put this card over $30,000. So a 29% premium for this card is actually very strong. Very strong. All right, and that's going to do it for this episode of the Graded Magic Market Review. I hope you enjoyed the new format. I think it flows a lot better. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any ideas, happy to hear them. And to all the new subscribers, thank you so much for joining. Really great to see you here. And if you're not already a subscriber and you enjoy Graded Magic the Gathering content, hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to be talking about graded cards all the time here on Gem Mint MTG. Next video is going to be the BGS 9.5s and PSA 10s. That's going to be a very interesting video. There's a lot of activity in the market, some of it good, some of it bad. Definitely seeing some softening, but definitely still seeing some very strong sales in certain markets. So it'll be interesting to go over that with you all. A lot of other stuff coming up on the channel. I've got another BGS submission that I have submitted. I'm expecting my current BGS orders, I have 2 of them in there, to come back in the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that. And then we're also going to be talking about some more cards that I've picked up recently for my collection. All right, that's it for now. Till next time, thanks. Have a great one.